Welcome everyone to season 2, episode 2 of the Fire Emblem
Okay.
podcast.
I that
Do it
intro.
again.
Yeah, sure. I thought you were gonna say Fire Emblem what, and I was like, come on, man.
No, we're good.
Okay.
All right, I'm Blazer, your host.
I'm Shu. I'm also a host,
Of course he is.
but not really.
I was gonna without him. He's easily replaceable.
It's true. It's true. I'm not gonna deny it.
I was gonna replace him with.
Well, I mean, hardly. He's okay, but I mean, so last week we talked about whatever. Last week was a delayed podcast. We actually recorded last week's podcast about a couple months ago. Would you say?
Well, hold on. That's our little secret there, Shu. Can't go telling everyone that.
Okay, well now it's our secret, along with whoever listens.
All three people.
Yeah, all three of you guys. But anyway, the podcast I released last week, it was about plot in Fire Emblem. And I guess this time around, we're not really going to be talking specifically about Fire Emblem, are we? We're going to be zeroing in on Smash Brothers, being that, I think that, would you agree that most people, at least in the West, are fans of, maybe not most, but a lot of them are fans of Fire Emblem because of Marth and Roy's initial appearance in Smash Bros. Melee?
Yes and no. If you asked me before Awakening, I would say that a majority of them are. So, I don't know. That's like over 50%, right? Definitely it was a huge influence. But then I think Awakening also did a good job of bringing in new fans. Just because it was so well received and it was actually like advertised. Like, God forbid they actually advertised a Fire Emblem game.
Yeah, tell me about it.
That was new. I mean,
yeah. I feel the same way because I was actually surprised. I mean, how much interest that Awakening generated, Oh
yeah, and it brought in a lot of besides a lot of new fans, it was just brought in more like, I guess, diverse fans is what I'm looking for. Like it brought in people from, other genres who maybe haven't played as many strategy RPGs or RPGs in general, and it kind of got them to try it out, which was great.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're always looking for new fans, and, hopefully more fans, more Fire Emblem games, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Definitely. So, not too long ago, how long ago was it? Marth was officially announced for Smash Brothers 4, which, I mean, we all knew he was going to be in there, being how much of a fan favorite he is.
Yeah, anyone who said he wasn't going to be, there was like that one dude who was like, no, there's no way Marth's going to be in because I'm retarded. Like, pretty much, yeah, he's been in Melee and Brawl. Like, you knew he was going to be in there.
Absolutely.
He's pretty much the most iconic Fire Emblem character there is.
Probably, definitely.
Like, period. No, it's not even a probably.
Yeah.
It's a fact. Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at this point, definitely.
There's no. Yeah. I mean, you have. Go ahead.
Didn't Ryan from season 1 of the Fire Emblem Shrine podcast, back when it was called Fire Emblem What? The terrible name. He is not a fan of Marth in the Smash Brothers games for whatever reason. His reason is so dumb that I don't bother to commit it to memory. Whatever it is.
It was probably something like he wears a tiara.
Oh yeah, probably dumb like that. I don't even know if it's a tiara. It's more like a headband, right? I mean, I realize that doesn't make it any less feminine, but
Marth looks like a girl, and the game is called Super Smash Brothers. Therefore, he cannot be in it. I mean, he was bashing on like Rosalina and oh god, spoilers. No, everyone knows Rosalina's in it. He was bashing on some other characters too. I mean, sure, the game is called Super Smash Brothers, but come on, what is it really? It's a Nintendo crossover with some of the more
crossover party fighter.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
and one of the most important aspects is that those characters are recognizable, which is why Marth was like guaranteed, because he's been in Fire Emblem 1, Fire Emblem 3, Fire Emblem 11, 12, 13. I mean, that's more than anyone else. Then he was in Melee, he was in Brawl. Then you have like a bunch of other like random cameos. He had his own anime back in like 1991. That was even before I was born.
Oh, yeah. It's that old?
Yeah.
I don't know it was that old.
Pretty old. It was pretty old. Maybe like 1993 or 4, which is around when I was born. But that's still pretty canon. But yeah, out
uh,
of all the characters, Martha's definitely got the most attention. I mean, just look at when he first started; he wasn't even wearing pants, and look at him now;
Look at
he's
him
wearing so
now.
many pants.
He's so many pants. I'm on the Smash Brothers website right now, taking a look at his character model. How do you feel about it?
Oh, it's amazing. I actually like it. I feel like they combined a bunch of good things together, and they made him. They didn't make him seem feminine. They made him. I don't know. I think it resembles the Hero King form of Fire Emblem 12 a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, dude, I love it. He looks pretty determined. Let me tell you, he looks slick, and I'm loving that little why can I not think of the word right now? It's the thing that holds the cape. It's that little red thing.
Oh yeah, I like that too. I don't know what it is though.
He looks like a
All right,
baller.
someone,
He seriously
someone
does.
enlighten us.
Someone enlighten us. Send an email to not me. Send it to
No
Blazer.
one sends emails. Just
Yeah, it's true. Make an account on the forums. Make a thread saying, "Hey, Blazer and Shu, you guys are idiots. The red thing is actually called a wait. Is a
something
bros? Is it a
or
brooch?
bro.
Brooch.
Actually,
A
that does
brooch.
sound right.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. All right, never mind. I mean, still make an account, but don't tell us where it is.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
But that being said, so Marth's in it. We know that, and now it's come down to who's going to be the second character because most people think there is going to be a second representative of the Fire Emblem series.
Oh, I
Now
know.
we don't know how large. Yeah, I mean we don't know how large this cast is going to be, but given the general trend of Smash games, we've had two Fire Emblem characters each. I feel like we can at least expect two.
I think so.
So for sake of discussion, let's assume there's definitely going to be a second one. And the big question is that everybody argues is who's going to be that second one. So Sue, who do you think?
I'm putting my money on Crown from Awakening. That's my gamble. I mean, there's already the Arena of Fenrock stage in the 3DS version of the game, and so I just figure, and I guess I know that's not a guarantee, but I mean, being that Fire Emblem Awakening was so well received and it's the most recent Fire Emblem game, I just think that it's a pretty good guess.
Oh yeah, I mean the game sold, I believe, a little bit over 1 million copies, probably a bit more since then, and and just in general, it's like Fire Emblem doesn't usually get that much media attention, or in general, but you had it, it was even in that what's it called, the VGX Awards.
Yeah, those are
You
terrible.
you just had a lot more. Yeah, I know. But the point being that it had a little bit more publicity and a little bit more coverage. So I feel like even people who didn't play the game would at least have heard of it. Whereas if you ask people about, say, Radiant Dawn, I feel like a lot less people would be like, oh, there's a Fire Emblem game for the Wii. Like, wait, what's Fire Emblem in the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like people are at least a little bit more educated.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I guess some people make the argument, at least on our forums, is that he'd be too similar a fighter to Marth, but I think that's kind of that's
I don't know.
dismissible. I think, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I mean, Sakurai isn't that dumb. He's not gonna. He's not gonna create a character exactly the same. There might be a few similarities. Okay, yeah, sure. They did that in Melee, but obviously they've put an effort since to make a balance essentially between distinguishing between the new characters, and then while not making them too different. So what I mean by this is like Fox and Falco in Melee, they were like extremely similar, right? But then in Brawl, they made Falco unique. But at the same time, they didn't make him so different from Melee that it was like, whoa, like this is a total reimagining. You still felt that he was true to himself in the series, and his entry before. So I thought that was great. But anyhow, yeah, if he's a new character, it's definitely going to be different. That being said, I do kind of get the argument that Chrom, might be similar in that just perspective, they're both swordsmen, they both wield Falcon. Chrom they're both relatively fast. They're both kind of well-balanced characters overall. At least that's how I see them in their respective games.
Yeah, they both have blue hair.
Yeah, that too.
That's a major. Oh no, but I mean, you brought up something very important. I don't think I ever noticed this or really thought about this much, but what you said about, Falco, for example, carrying over from his Melee version to his Brawl version, he was different, but he was still similar, so he wasn't alienating the people that used him in the previous game, at the same time, kind of decloning him.
You know what exactly. I mean?
I
Yeah.
never really thought about that, but yeah, that's a really good job on Sakurai's part. I'm impressed. I'm impressed, Sakurai. You get an award for something.
Fire Emblem Podcast gives Sakurai an award for decloning Val.
Let's be honest.
I
It's
wish.
it's basically a sticker, if we could afford one.
Yeah.
uh,
Hit up that PayPal. All right.
so there's this we were talking about this before we recorded this podcast. There's this mod for Brawl called Project M, right? Project M. They just
Yep.
released
And I'm
3.0.
Yep, and I'm 99% sure that stands for Project Melee. But if it isn't, someone shoot me. I live in Ohio, and no, I'm just kidding. So Project M is a mod, as you said. It's a mod of Brawl, and the basic idea is to make it a lot more like Melee. And there are 2 new characters too, I believe, right?
Yeah, Roy is in it with a completely
Roy's definitely in it. I mean,
brawlified.
Roy's my boy.
Yeah, he is our boy. And who else? I know Mewtwo's in it too.
Yeah, Mewtwo. And I think that might be it, but pretty much every Brawl character, as far as I know, also returned. But it's not like the exact same as Brawl, and I think it's even more in depth than some of the other Brawl mods. If other people are familiar with them, there's like Brawl Plus, I think Brawl Minus, other Brawl Square, Brawl Equals. I
Brawl
don't
to
know.
the second power.
Right. Yeah. So all these little mods aside, Project M is definitely one of the more ambitious mods out there. And with it just being released, it's actually pretty epic as far as I see. It looks a bit different. It's got a bigger roster. We get to see the return of the 2 more favored Melee characters. So what I mean by that is, as we know, Pichu and Dr. Mario and Young Link also didn't make it. Were there any other Melee characters that didn't make it to Brawl?
To Brawl?
Yeah, just Mewtwo, Roy, Dr. Mario.
I feel like we're missing somebody.
Young Link.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think you got maybe all of them.
Yeah, that might be all of them. But anyhow, the only 2 that made it are Mewtwo and Roy, as far as I remember. And that being said, Mewtwo was actually a pretty unique character. I think the reason why they took him out and made Lucario somewhat similar was because of, as it goes back to that thing about relevance that I said. Mewtwo was really relevant at the time because of he was just like a really popular character, and you had him being in the Pokemon games, and he was in the movie that everyone as a kid watched and loved if they were a Pokemon fan. But then Mewtwo kind of became like less and less relevant. And then you have Roy, whose game wasn't Melee actually released before Fire Emblem 6 came out.
It was. I think what I read was that it was supposed to be a little bit of a publicity thing for Roy. It was sort of like an advertisement,
Yeah. And by a little bit, I think that's actually major, because to release the main character before he showed him in his own game, that's kind of at least in my opinion, a dramatic thing to do. So there's definitely got to be some level of communication there. Be like, okay, like a sword, like, okay, it can, it has this fire attribute to it, and what exactly does he look like and all that. So the dudes have had to work together to some extent to get that going.
Definitely.
Yeah. So all that being said, Project M, return of these 2 characters, and as Fire Emblem fans, our focus is like, oh my God, Roy, he's back.
Oh yeah, at least in this form. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm sure a lot of people appreciate Roy being back. Roy is really popular, even though he wasn't as good as Marth. But now he's actually been adjusted quite a bit to be a lot better. And I think he's a perfect match for Marth and pretty much anyone else now, which is great. I love balance.
So do I. I mean, I'm looking at their about page right now. It says that it's playable on any NTSC Wii, so you don't have to mod it or anything. All you need is an SD Brawl.
That's what I heard too, and I'm like, this is awesome, because like a lot more people are going to use it. It's a lot more accessible, right?
Yeah, I know that was definitely one of the turnoffs with mods. I mean, I've played a lot of Brawl mods before, and hey, they're fun, but I'm like, I don't really want to. I don't know if they're worth the effort it takes to, go ahead and modify my Wii. You know what I'm saying? But this is great. It opened the doors. For real.
One of the things I don't like is, like, I modded my Wii a long time ago, and I haven't really undone it. just because whatever. But like I can't even like go into the the basic like game loading channel and load my game because my like what is it called, the firmware is like really outdated. I have to go like through the homebrew channel and then do it, and it's just kind of like a pain in the ass, to be straight up. I'd rather just like do it normally. And like honestly, it's maybe there is a way that I can like use it normally, but I don't really know how, because like hacking is just so confusing in general, and like there are like just it's just like a ton of tutorials, but you don't know where to go or what to do with them, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, no, I get
And
it.
it's just like you really don't want to spend like 5 hours going on forums trying to figure out what's what. If you aren't like already into it, it's so confusing. But if you are already into it, it's so natural to you that it's like hard to help people who are new to it. It's like, oh, this is so easy. All you have to do is do this and install this firmware and use this other patch thing, and then there you go. It's hacked. It's like, oh, that's awesome. Do it for me.
That's pretty much it. Actually, I was at a, speaking of modded brawl, I was at one of my friends' houses when we're with a couple guys. We were playing modded brawl. We were there when it broke, when the whole thing just stopped working. And I don't think I don't think he got it fixed. We were playing, and at one point, it just wouldn't load the stage ever, no matter what character we picked. Because initially we thought like, oh, we can't use the Master Chief skin for Captain Falcon or whatever, so we can't use that one. So we selected different characters. I'm like, okay, well that doesn't work. And then we select characters that we played with beforehand, and we knew that worked. Still didn't work. What's up with that?
Did you take off the cheats and stuff?
I don't know. We left before it fixed, before the issue resolved itself. So I don't even know if that guy ever got it fixed.
The haunted story of brawl modding.
It was very scary.
Project. But yeah, that's exactly why Project M is awesome. You don't have to worry about that, and that's why I'm probably actually going to try it out today. I haven't gotten to try it out, but I've seen some videos online. If you want to be convinced to try it out, I'll tell you one thing. Go on YouTube, search up turbo mode videos, especially Turbo Roy. It's pretty epic. So they implemented this new mode called turbo mode, and it's like crazy comboing that just looks really good. It's not actually like technical gameplay, but still it looks awesome, and it'll totally convince you to try it out. Especially the Captain Falcon ones. Oh yeah, Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
Can you believe that dude said Captain Falcon shouldn't be in the next Smash? Okay. That one dude.
We have a guy who goes to our forum.
No names.
We're not gonna call him out. But he said that Captain Falcon didn't belong in the Smash Brothers series. I think his main arguments are there hasn't been an F-Zero game in a long time, and he's not even the best racer in his own games. I'm like, I don't care, dude. I don't. Like, seriously.
I'm sorry. I can't take this seriously.
I mean, I know exactly. It's baffling. It's baffling. I don't even know what to say about this, dude.
Dude, Captain Falcon is he's actually, in my opinion, one of the faces of Smash, just because of how
definitely.
Like iconic and mimic he is. Like everyone knows, like getting Falcon punched is one of the biggest disgraces you can ever face in a game of Smash. If they took out Captain Falcon, it'd never be the same. You would go looking on the menu and you would be looking for Captain Falcon the whole time.
You would side with depression.
Yeah, exactly. I have to play as Martha again.
I think one of the arguments that I made against this guy is that he's like, he's more of a Smash character now than an F-Zero character. I mean, he really is. I mean, when people think of Captain Falcon, do you think of that gravity-based racer game that came out like a bazillion years ago? Or do you think of punching people in Smash? Definitely.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. That dude's weird. There's some weird people. Like, some people probably don't even think Marth should be in it. Also, some people think there should be a Lucina costume for Marth.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be upset with that. It's cool, but I mean, it's not make or break for me. I'll be honest. I could live without it.
The thing is, in all honesty, there are quite a few people who do that. I wouldn't really mind it. The only issue is the kind of transvestite kind of issue there. I mean, having a Lucina costume. I don't know.
I guess.
I mean, Martha's. I don't know. Martha's kind of feminine enough, but I don't know if you could dig the Lucina version. I don't know.
I think they would have a similar body type, so you could get away with giving them the exact same hitbox, where it could just be a skin. I mean, there's gonna
Yeah.
be a mod of it either way. So
I don't know, dude. Wii U hacking hasn't gotten that far, but we'll see.
it'll get there eventually, at some point. And if you think
Maybe,
that people
maybe.
aren't going to be playing Smash Brothers 4 years from now, you are dead wrong. Let me tell you, dude. I'm gonna when the game comes out, I'm gonna start playing. I'm not gonna stop until about 2017. Okay.
Dude, if the online is good, there's this is gonna be like a timeless game where like people will probably play it even like 10 years from
Oh,
now.
I really hope so. That's another thing is that everybody knows Smash series fan favorites. A whole lot of people like them. Not a whole lot of people hate them, unless you like that stupid copyright fighter that Sony puts out. It's terrible. It's not. Well, it's not terrible. It's not. It doesn't compare to Smash. That's all I can really say about it. It
It's
just
not
hold up.
Smash.
It's not
It's not
Smash.
Smash.
Something missing from it, definitely, and the fact that it's missing all the Nintendo characters. That's what it's missing. But really,
No, but
go ahead.
go on.
Okay.
All right. So, God damn it, you just go ahead.
Fine. See, we're doing this through Skype, so there's a little bit of a delay, which is what leads to these awkward situations. All right, we're not just weird, okay? This is because of technical issues. Okay, we're a little weird, but you can't blame me. But you can kind of blame
I'd
me.
like to say it's a 50-50 half, balance between both.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, I don't even. I think that's what the people are saying when they're listening to this podcast. Fire Emblem. What? I don't get these guys. They don't know what they're talking about.
Dude, that's the whole joke. It's not even a real podcast.
It's not a real podcast. You've been fooled.
Joke's on you guys.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say. I'm serious. Oh no, but the multiplayer. The multiplayer on Smash Brothers. On the Wii, hey, could have been a lot better. I don't think anybody denies that. There were a lot of server connection issues, that kind of thing. I think that they stepped up. Yeah. If they stepped up in that regard for this next release, I think that will go quite a long way. Do you agree?
All right, guys, everyone sign our petition. We're starting it right now. www.change.org/petition/make SSB4 online good /
I'm typing it in right now, man. I'm signing up.
No, I just totally made that up. Don't go there.
Oh. Darn.
Petitions never work, especially with Nintendo. You know what's funny? Nope. The other time Nintendo actually said, they actually said two interesting things. First of all, they're like, we don't care what fans say. I was like, Nintendo, you're retarded. Why the fuck would you ever say that to your fans? like it's fine if you think that way, but keep it to yourself, not to like disappoint your fans. I think what they really meant by that is that they're ultimately a business, so they're not going to blindly listen to fans. They're still like influenced by them, obviously, but ultimately they go for what they think is the best business choices first. And then the second thing is they said Reggie might be a playable character if they can get 100,000 people to sign some petition or something like that. So there's actually a petition going on, but the key word there is might. It's probably not going to happen, especially because Reggie, like 10 years from now, let's say he's no longer part of the thing. That's going to be odd. I would give it to them. Maybe have a sticker for Reggie and Sakurai, but that's it. I'd be okay with those. But no more than that.
What kind of stat boosts does Reggie sticker give you? What do you think?
Stat boost.
Improved.
I have no idea.
Improved readiness.
Improved readiness. Physical body +1.
Remember all those like bonus things that they would give you at the end of every match in Melee that made no sense to you when you were younger?
Oh.
Like Madness King, 5,000 points. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. I don't even think Madness
All
King
right.
is one of them.
That being said, there's actually a lot of potential characters for besides Crom. Or maybe not a lot, but there's a lot of characters people want. So you want to spend the last I don't know 4 or 5 minutes of this just running through some of the characters and why they probably won't make it. Not to be negative, but just trying to be realistic here.
Realistic. So I guess
Yeah.
what do you want to talk about the people from Melee that aren't going to be in? Pichu? Probably not going to be in, I'll be honest.
No. I'm talking like for instance like Hector. Like Hector's probably not gonna make it, even though
Fire Emblem
it'd be
characters?
awesome.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, technically, this is a Fire Emblem podcast. We could
Yeah.
stand to
No,
talk a
no.
little bit.
I guess we might. We should probably talk a little bit about Fire Emblem at some point.
No, but like a lot of people want like certain characters, and they're like, oh my god, yeah, I totally hope he gets in, and be like, yeah, I think that's a totally viable character, and I'm like, dude, get real, because
Is there?
ultimately you have to think about it through their eyes.
I mean, is there anybody that actually thinks that Hector might get in?
Yes, there are. That's what we're talking about here.
I mean,
And I'm trying to
it's gotta
trying
be
to crush their hopes and dreams.
I can't really think Hector's getting in. Not before Crom or even Ike or Roy. Roy has a better chance of being in there than Hector.
Exactly, though. So Hector hasn't, as Awakening aside, because Awakening had a ton of spot pass characters, Hector hasn't been in since his own game, Fire Emblem 7. And even there, he was pretty much the second or third main character, tied with Lynn. Lynn had her own mode, and then she was like the third character. But then Hector you couldn't even play his mode until you beat the game once.
Right.
I mean, Hector's cool and all. It'd be cool to have an axe user.
Oh yeah, no, I love.
He's just not relevant or recognizable enough. And if you analyze all the characters that have been announced, and even when they've been announced, they're usually announced whenever, they're usually announced if there's some kind of news going on about them, if that makes sense. So, for instance, Pikmin, or Olimar had Pikmin 3, Young Link had Wind Waker HD, I feel like Peach, I don't know, wasn't she announced somewhere a little bit around Super Mario 3D World, which is a playable character, Villager, Animal Crossing New Leaf. See, there's been new games for all these characters. Mega Man, I don't know about Mega Man, but he did have his 25th anniversary. And then you could argue Marth. What about Marth? I don't remember.
Well,
right,
you could argue
anything.
He's kind of in Awakening.
Yeah, I mean, he is in Awakening, but like the actual timing, like Sonic was timed really well with, I think, Sonic Lost World, if I remember correctly.
Probably.
Like he was announced like really close to that game. So there are oftentimes announced close to the release dates of their game.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least with some relevant news. So like Rosalina, I think she was announced to be in some Mario Kart Arcade GPX or something like that. And also there was something else relevant. She's also in Super Mario 3D World, which came out just last month. So she's relevant there. She's appeared in essentially two things. She might even appear in Mario Kart since she's from a Mario Kart game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, in that trailer, weren't they? Didn't they show the other characters racing? So I mean, you could totally predict that these characters are viable for Smash. So that being said, who else is viable? I think we should look at Ike, because he was in the last one, but that's pretty much all he has going for him, is that he was in Fire Emblem 9 and 10, which was quite a while ago, and then he was in the last Smash, so there's a chance of him returning. Veterans always have a better chance, obviously. And he was in Awakening, and he did have his own art, but ultimately he's just a DLC character. So for a lot of people who didn't buy DLC, he didn't exist in that game, right?
Right.
There is one thing that makes me think Ike has a slightly better chance than people might give him credit for. Do you know what that is, Shu?
No, I don't. I don't. I
Awakening.
really do not think that that he's gonna be in. What'd you say?
I don't really think either, but there is something that like ups his chances very slightly, and it's something in Awakening. Go on, Shu.
Oh, yep. I know what you're talking about. I don't know. Do you think we should spoil that?
Okay, spoilers. If you don't want to hear it, this is the end of the show. Good night, guys. Otherwise, continue on.
Paris.
Paris. Wasn't that his old name? Yeah, it was localized as
Oh,
Priam.
whatever.
And
Priam, that's right.
yeah,
I
right.
because
Okay,
of
so
maybe I'm from
Priam.
that story, I get them confused.
Yeah. So Priam is the descendant of Ike, who also has Ragnall, and that was part of Spot Pass, but it's pretty canon as far as I know. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
I think
Like
it.
half those characters kind of come out of nowhere.
Uh-huh.
Let's consider it like 50% canon because we don't know better. But
Right.
that
Yes.
being said, that is slightly hinting towards Ike being relevant in a new game. I don't know about a sequel, but maybe something. It, I don't know. It's just a very slight. I just want to point that out. It really doesn't mean much. And like you said, Ike really doesn't have a great chance of returning, but I'd say there is a chance.
Yep.
A
Yep.
small.
I agree. I agree. So, do you think that there's gonna be a sequel to Awakening? Just thought right now. Do you think there's gonna be another game set in that world, or at least in a similar time frame?
I don't know. I would say no, actually. I feel
No.
like they closed off Awakening pretty well in general,
Mm-hmm.
especially with all the DLC. I feel like they totally milked that game, and I feel like they're going to go to a new series or a new story, rather, a new world, or at least make it relevant to a different continent or something like
I would. I
Ike's
know.
continent.
I would love to see Jugdral. Seriously.
A remake of that. Yeah, that
Not
would be
necessarily a
cool.
remake, but just something that's set in that world at
Oh,
least.
something that's set in there. That would
Yeah.
be pretty cool. I think intelligence systems might slowly becoming more wary of what they're doing when it comes to the Western marketplace.
Probably.
Um, and what I mean by that is like a lot of times Japanese people when they make the games, they don't give a shit about the Western market. They will make it just for the Japanese people, and
Mm-hmm.
they're totally perfectly fine with that. But I think because Fire Emblem is becoming more recognizable, as I was talking about earlier, I think they might care a little bit more about like, oh, if we include such and such characters, are people going to recognize them as well? And that being said, outside of the Awakening, we've had no official experience with those characters, Fire Emblem 4, Fire Emblem 5, or the world. So all those places would be totally new. I mean, I'm sure most people don't know what the hell jug drill is. They'll probably think it's a jug, a holy jug of water.
A Jugdral.
That's what I think of.
Right. Whatever. Whatever.
All right, I think it's about time we wrap it up.
Yep. I think it's that
We'll
time.
definitely, we'll definitely keep you guys updated if there's more Smash stuff. I think what we can do is have like a small little chat about any new Smash news. Especially if there's Fire Emblem Smash news. Like we'd love to cover screenshots, right, Chu? You'd love
Oh
to do
yeah,
that.
dude, I love
Oh
screenshots.
yeah.
I
There
love
were
them.
some interesting screenshots. Follow our Twitter if you want to get the latest Fire Emblem news. Like for instance, there's a cameo of Marth and Lucina, I believe. Or no, not Marth and Lucina. Chrom and Lucina. I was joking. Chrom and Lucina and Monster Hunter 3 for the Wii U. There are
Hmm.
some sweet costumes. And in general, you hear other small stuff about Fire Emblem here and there. So do that. www.twitter.com/Fire Emblem. What? No, I'm just kidding. Twitter.com/Fire Emblem Buzz. She's going to kill me if I say that word one
Yeah.
more time.
I'm seething with anger right now.
All right, guys. Well, I'm Blazer. I'm
I'm
out.
Shu.
Peace.